Hello everybody and welcome to this video. This video is about an SLT versus the SLR. I'm talking digitally, of course. This right here is an SLR. Main difference from an SLT, which is what makes it an SLR and what makes the other an SLT, is the shutter. You take a photo with this camera, and you get that. And you get that shutter right there. With the SLR, it's a mirror, because the mirror goes up in the pentaprism. You get your image through your viewfinder, so on and so forth. With the SLT, which is what I'm using to record this video, the light goes through the mirror because the mirror is translucent. You get the photograph without actually having any movement with the mirror. SLT is new technology. New technology is always going to be interesting. It's always going to have people that kind of flock its way just because they want to be the first person with the new thing. But I think this technology is really revolutionizing the way that we take images. And the reason I say images is because it's about video and still. 5 years ago, if you had a DSLR and you wanted to do video also to go along with your photography services, you had to go get a video camera and pay a lot of money. Nowadays, it's inside the DSLR, which makes DSLRs more versatile. What do I prefer? It depends. When it comes to photography, I prefer SLR. I'll make a bold prediction here. I will say that SLTs will outsell the DSLR one day. You might think I'm crazy when I say that, but I'll tell you why. What this is all about, the SLT versus SLR, this is all about digital imaging. Okay? Now, say you're a sports photographer, for instance. Your budget for cameras isn't that high to where you can get the Pro Nikon or Canon or whatever, and you need a fast frames per second, fast frame rate. Okay, so you go with the SLT, you get almost double the frames per second that you would on a competitive SLR for around the same price. So that right there helps you get an image. You know what I mean? So it's all about what gets you that image. Now, you might be the type, you're probably a stickler for Canon or Nikon or your SLRs or whatever you're a stickler for, and you might not want that, which is cool. But I think a lot of people that don't really have any type of affinity towards SLRs or any kind of nostalgic, any type of nostalgic connection towards SLRs, I don't think they'll care. I think they'll care about the images they want. For instance, if they have children and the children are running around the yard, I think they would rather have an autofocus on an SLT camera rather than an SLR. Why? Because it's faster, it tracks motion better, and so on and so forth. So, like I said, this is all about imaging. If you're into digital imaging, I think an SLT would suit you very nicely because they have a lot of different options that, like I said, an SLR just can't produce. And it's not the SLR's fault. The SLRs are good machines, but the SLT is capable of doing things that an SLR can't do, basically. But I will say this, that the SLR will not go away silently into the night. It will stick around. You'll find a lot of people still using digital SLRs from now until the future. But I think on a consumer level, on a professional level, I think DSLRs will remain the staple. But I think on a consumer level, after a while, SLTs will take over, just because consumers don't care what happens with the mirror when the picture is taken. They just want the image they want, and they care about what gives them that. So don't kill the messenger. I'm just the messenger. But this is just my take on the whole thing about SLT versus SLR or whatever, whatnot. I love them both. I have an SLR and an SLT, and I'll say that for just responsiveness and taking it out and just being able to get whatever I want, the SLT will do the job. But if I'm going to shoot a wedding or something like that, my main camera will be an SLR, just because it feels more classic. It feels more right. It just feels right in my hands at a wedding or something like that. And SLT feels like I'm bringing a new technology to your wedding or gathering or whatever. It just, people don't like that. You might want just regular, normal, classic, get the pictures. That's it. So yeah, that's my take on the whole thing. You could like this, you could not like this, you could subscribe, you could become my friend on Facebook, you could become in one of my circles on Google+. There's lots of ways to get in contact with me, so I hope you'll choose just one. Peace out.